Have you played a lot growing up?
Oh, I think not so much, but
easy and fun and
My mic wasn't on that entire time. I love getting in the habit of things. And let me turn that on. I think that audio is going to be good. Is it too loud or anything? Does volume sound good? I'm asking you people who are here. If not, I'm sure you'll tell me eventually anyway, right? I'm sure you would, right? You're not going to leave me hanging or whatever? I think we're good. Okay, but yeah. So basically, this is a big project I've been working on art-wise. I love how I have to repeat everything I just said. But this is basically my big D&D project, MANORIA. But it's like a big art project, and me and a few of my friends have been playing D&D for a while, and we've talked about, you know, people DMing next, and I really enjoyed getting to do a one-shot with a few of my friends as well as my brother. Well, my brother was curious about it, and I'm doing sort of like a mini campaign, just me and him, and I was like, I could use the warm-up DMing and whatever and get used to it, so sure. Well, we ended up placing a few places, and I've already had like ideas, but I actually sat down and put it together. But basically, what we're going to do is just take it, put pen to paper pretty much, and get to it. So here we are. But essentially, this is just the main map. We have a few different like towns and cities and everything laid out, but I'm going to try to actually finesse it, finish it, and have like a good first map for reference of everything pretty much. That's the plan anyway. But, you know, plans can change. But I haven't done an art stream yet, and I really wanted to, so let me get the targets hit. Oh, I'm on a different layer. It's always layers. Layers are always the problem. But yeah, I pretty much got like this basic outline, but I'm gonna finesse it a little bit because I want it to look clean and kind of a bit more finished. But I moved some things around continent-wise. Nothing too bad, but basically the background's just kind of my point of reference for everything. This song is groovy. If you guys see anything go wrong or it gets muted, let me know. Because quite frankly, with this lo-fi stuff, I might get a little carried away. I do want to keep it to my own lo-fi stuff eventually, but looks like we're still all good. Sweet. Cool. Okay, we can actually get invested into the whole painting and stuff now. Yeah, it might help if I get on the right layer, wouldn't it? Photoshop, what a time. I'm also a big fan of labels, in case you didn't know. Alright. But feel free to talk and chat or whatever. It might take me a second to see it because I go back and forth between everything. I wish OBS had a way where it all sits in one place, because I see the stream chat for like Twitch, but I don't see for everything else always. So I have to go back to YouTube. Like I had to go to YouTube to find some of the extras and stuff before. So I like being safe than sorry. But yeah, I'll probably click off every once in a while just to see between Twitch and YouTube. Yeah. I'm getting so carried away. YouTube, I just have the biggest following with like almost 1,000 subscribers, so it's kind of like, yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it? I feel like the hardest thing is trying to make things look a bit more realistic, because obviously lines aren't going to be that smooth on continents or whatever. I thought about doing this photo bashing, it was like a photo bashing type thing where they took actual continents and then placed them into stuff. And I like the idea, but at the same time I felt like it might be easy to tell if Australia was put here, if that makes sense. So I was like, we'll just try it this way and see. Plus it's first time for everything, so why complain, you know? But if you have any questions about something you see or whatever, feel free to ask, because I'm totally down to talk about it for a bit. Or any other random stuff. I'm not too hard to please as far as conversation. Not gonna lie, this lo-fi playlist was pretty lit. I'm kind of glad I found it. I don't know what everyone else uses, you know, so it's kind of like, I have my stuff, but I don't have a big list yet. But once that time comes around, I'll definitely use it a lot more. Also, D&D Cali's an unnamed place. Feel free to talk about it if you guys got ideas. I've thrown a lot of stuff out here, but I haven't chosen anything yet. Yeah, I'm liking it. Because then once we get our references out of the way, it's going to help a lot too. Also, I will just mention my new album is out now if you guys wanted to, I don't know, maybe stream a little bit of it, because that'd be awesome. I know some of you are, because I've gotten word from my friends, but you know, it's one thing to hear from the people you keep up with day to day. I like to hear from a bunch of other different people. Like, it turns out I actually had, it was a lady from my dad's bank. She actually listens to my music, and I thought it was so weird, because I was like, of all the people, it's not the people I'd expect, but, you know, some people just like the music, so it's like, fair enough. Alright, checking all my things. I'm gonna make sure all the ducks are in a row. Yeah, like, these islands were way too close, when I was looking at them before, so I ended up changing these out a bit. Let me change that. Did something on another screen and wanted to fix it. Yeah, that was the whole reason I did a mainly just big black outlines for a lot of this, because I wasn't sure how it was all going to turn out at first. So it was like, we'll shift things around, zoom back if I like it. But that's kind of a more simple, boring thing, and I was like, yeah, now we're going to get to the details, you know? The nitty-gritty type stuff. Because, see, that actually is looking a bit more like a map. I think I need to redo this one, though. This one's looking still, it doesn't have enough of the edges. Because landmasses on all the maps are so bumpy. It's not the straight smooth like it needs to be. I think that's the main thing. It's about little movements rather than the larger ones. Yeah, because that reads more like an island rather than whatever little blob I had beforehand. That's the fun thing. I still got to figure out how exactly I'm going to do outlines and stuff. Like, on the paper, it makes sense, but I haven't totally gotten into what it's transferred into, if that makes sense. Like, you'd see, like, I have roads all through here and, like, main paths, but I haven't driven out the main sets yet, and plus there's the river that goes through here. It's gonna be a hoot to get together. But I have, like, a map key for some stuff, so it's not like it's too bad, but we'll figure it out as it goes. First time for everything, but this is the weirdest things. Like, I've done so much D&D lately that's, like, helped me get back into the swing of, like, art a lot more and things. So anyone who's looking for something to get them back into art or whatever, that's my recommendation. Have some friends, do D&D, or look up some stuff and then just do characters. Yeah, I think that's all right. I wasn't sure at first. I had two little bumps and I was like, no, I think they're too round. Because these big main lines are just my reference. I want to use the little lines to actually put the place together. Because see, sometimes I think this can come too bumpy, but then these smoother parts here make it look more interesting visually, I think. Just finding that nice mix in between. Once again, if anyone's hanging out, love to talk. I don't mind. I just gotta see it. That's the one thing. I want to get, if anyone is actually like typing questions or whatever, I want to be sure I can at least see them or find them. Because I never know for sure. Seems good so far. We'll figure it out here soon enough. Plus, granted, this isn't prime time when everyone's just looking for something to do or watch either. I know a lot of people are working, but it's like, I got free time and I'm planning to watch Critical Role tonight, so, you know, kind of don't want to miss anything. Yeah, that was too big of a clump over there. I think that's pretty nice. Do have the island up here though. It's kind of funny, I get the point where I start losing track of where my reference is and where the rest ends every once in a while. I feel like that might be too thick for that island. First one reads fine. I think it's just that one. Just be a little lighter handed. As I say that, I see the difference when I get back. I kind of lost the shape a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's see that. Wonder how off time the music in the stream is for you guys. Just thinking about it. I mean, it's the same for me, but if it's delayed. Thankfully, I'm not seeing any notifications on stuff getting like a copyright or something, so that's good. That was kind of one of my things I was a little worried about. Because they have some that's like, it's a no copyright playlist, but then at the same time, it's like, if it's no copyright playlist, is it though? And then all of a sudden, someone's getting paid for something you didn't do, you know? And it's like, well, shoot. I think we're still good. Anyways, saving this. That's a separate thing. I need to make a new folder for this, actually. We'll save it here for now and I'll organize it later. Technically, this whole continent and stuff actually doesn't have a name yet. Because MANORIA is like the world. I just don't have the actual name for it. Fun fact. These are swamplands, so there's going to be a good few of dips and things here as it gets out into closer toward the ocean. I think I might need to erase a few gaps too, though. Like come in a bit more so it's a bit more like the archipelago or something. Take out this little divot. I'm a big fan of this playlist cheese. Might need some smaller ones too, that would probably help. It's kind of like thinner lines, you know? Yeah, there's a good look to it too. Because then we can just kind of connect it as it goes up too. What about the details, man? The details. This is a little section right here is actually where it's like a bunch of barbarian tribes. So the fact they're going to be in different sections, it'll probably help to have like a big source of water or something. And that's the other thing, logistics. I never realized how invested you can get into them rather than just doing the landmass, you know? Because otherwise it adds so much more to it. At least as far as like, how the heck are they alive? You know, when there's a big old thing here, you can't even... Granted, it is mostly a valley place, but, you know. I think part of the problem world building too, I realized, is the fact you can get carried away so much. That was my thing. I did this whole deal. Talked about it with my brother for like a hot minute, and it's just like I kept trying to add so many things that I hadn't looked too much into. But then as we got to talking about more, it's like, yeah, it would make sense if this, that, and the other, and kind of helped a lot. Ooh, I think that'd be interesting if that actually connects there too. because then it gets that waterway again. Then maybe that little area, the reason it comes in there is because it's like a mountainous type thing. Shave those corners a little bit there. Because I think that's like, I could technically go in and do so many more smaller, like, lakes and stuff. But I feel like any of the ones that I could think of, like, normal, like, oh, it's just a place I go fishing, it's not that important to put, you know? But I feel like there should be some, just to indicate, like, hey, they're not gonna starve out here either, you know? Like, I picture this being a little important place for some of them. Far or wide or how, that's a story for later. There's up here, and this is like a whole port place, so they probably need a few things to actually work with. Like, the way I look at it, right, is all these rivers that run in throughout here and stuff is going to be anything visible or that visible stuff where you could technically take a boat to, because everyone takes boats, you know, get around places like, oh, this place around here is dangerous, so we don't want to drive from this little town to Selenia through there. That would be pretty dangerous, so instead we take the river, you know, like that I see working. Whereas if I were to put every single little river or something you found, it would be weird. Plus, you take too much freedom away from, like, people playing in the world. I feel like that'll be a dilemma, too. Like, they'd end up not having enough of the creative freedom they'd want to have, you know? I think that makes sense. I could just be talking about, but who knows, but that's just my opinion. My few one-shots I've done. Once again, if anyone's around, say hi. Be cool to talk to people. Wrong layer, because I'm always on the wrong layer. There probably would be something up here from the mountains. I need to spread more. I think I made that too thick. It's the funny thing, I want pressure sensitivity for a lot of little things, but at the same time, kind of screws me over when I get to some of those points too. It's like I could see the shape in my head, but trying to actually put it together is a little more difficult than that, yeah. Let's make it go up some more. I'll just take that little chunk out there. Feel free to subscribe, you guys, by the way. I am planning to do this more often here soon now that I actually got a good schedule kind of working out for me, so feel free to drop by, say hi, stick around. Tell me my stuff sucks like a lot of people did back in art school. Not like they said straight up it sucks. This is constructive criticism, but you know, it's just funny in hindsight. It's like, oh, you suck. Oh, okay. I think we're looking pretty good though, as far as it's on the wrong tab. Let me get that out there. There we go. Making me feel better. Hey, what's up, Alberto? I don't know if I told you this, bud, but I ended up doing world building or whatever. I don't know if how much you've heard or not heard, but essentially it's I got with my brother and finally built out the world I've been planning for a long while. So I'm kind of trying to make a map for it. I think it looks pretty solid so far. Or you can tell me it sucks. I've heard you tell me plenty of things suck, so it's okay. Oddly enough, I think I'm going to leave that up top open because I know what it's going to be. It's just a matter of, like, I'm trying to think of the word for it. Like, they're going to be territories, if that makes sense. They're not going to be defined things. But it's like, dragons here, and then here's here, you know, that type of thing. I mean, the main shape of everything I think is fine, honestly. I could fix a little bit though, because there would be rivers going into little spots and stuff like that, so I do need to do some of those. That's a little too the same. There we go. Get our little small ones in there. God, there's so much stuff I got planned for this stuff too. Be a hoot trying to figure it out though. Or whenever it plays out. Because I have like a lot of little things that I've taken ideas from other D&D stuff I've read, looked at, or people's ideas, and I kind of want, like, ooh, if I had this in there, then I could do it in this whole section, or whatever, you know? See, something about that looks off, though. I think I'd rather just keep that, because once it gets up there, it's going to be frozen over anyway, if there is stuff there. Because that's like creature territory, these are woods and stuff. But yeah, see, like any of the lakes here I don't think are as significant, if that makes sense. Like with this whole section here, it's swampland. Like that's its whole thing, so it's gonna have a lot of separate places or whatever, so it kind of helps take it apart from everything else. There's all the other stuff. I'm not so sure if I'd want it to be that way. Nah, I wouldn't go that high, probably. We'll take away that other one, too. But yeah, basically, I picked... Being from Louisiana, this is basically the boot of MANORIA, where everything is falling apart, and probably very soon going to get washed away in the Gulf of Mexico. Because we're losing so much land every day, and blah, 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 blah. Need a bit more of a riverway going through here somewhere. Because it's intruding on it, you know. Archipelagos don't exactly clean lines and spaces. So if I were to take out our little reference here, yeah, we can get rid of that because we don't really need it. But yeah, see, like, this looks like a unique map that I'd be interested to drop some people in. And a lot of the stuff's going to be filled into whenever it actually gets put in, too. Because, like, this area would be a mystery, but there is, like, a more space there. Just here, they probably have one. Yeah, I kind of dig that. We could probably have that going here. Because they'd have like a little... This little town of Celestine here is like a big center. Like everyone knows about it. It's an open place, super big on nature. Known to be the epitome of like society and nature going together as one and stuff like that. So they'd probably have some sort of stuff going on in there. But then again... Yeah, because if I'm following the rule of... Yeah, I probably wouldn't put in there. Because if I'm following my rule of, like, if it's big enough that a vessel could go through it, then that's what puts it down, you know? Like a big old ship or something. Otherwise, I don't see much reason to. But I do think a lot of this is turning out pretty well. Because some of these are going to be undiscovered locations or less local, so they wouldn't really know until... they got there if stuff's there. That's my opinion of it. Like, for example, these islands across here are resort type islands next to the D&D Cali, I called it. Just to be like California, but, you know, for D&D. Party city, have a good time. Hey, what's up, Jake? Yeah, it was basically going to be the party place for D&D or whatever, where it's like a resort, paradise, islands, you know, like Maldives, I guess, in real life. This would kind of be the place where they come to hang out, party, whatever, and get away from everything. But you have that basement is basically a vacation type place, but people can make the stories with whatever they want. Same with these islands here. There's no like indicator of them or anything. They just, you know, they're out there. What lies there? I don't know. Go and discover and find out. You know? Different stuff like that, I think, goes a long way later on down the line. Honestly, I think a lot of the stuff's gonna just boil down to naming it and typing it out later. Because right now, like, I think this is solid. Once it actually gets, like, put together and stuff, you know? think I'm gonna connect a bit more of this actually though. Let's take section and connect it through here. Like I said, if it's going to be the boot like Louisiana, then we need to do some adjustments to it, I feel like. I think we can take this little lake out, because it's not going to be, again, following that rule. If it's big enough for a large ship to go through, draw it. But if not, then don't worry about it. And what's all up in that corner? Oh yeah, because it's an undiscovered area, so. But yeah, I think I dig that. I need to figure out, I need to do some logo designs for the different cities and stuff too, while I'm thinking about it. Because like, Selenia is this whole nature thing, so I know they're going to have probably something similar to like a tree or something, some nature symbol. Korthal's all aggressive and angry as crap, so they'll probably have a little something. I picture it kind of like the Skyrim menu, if that makes sense, like on the world map where Whiterun's like the horse or just different stuff like that to identify it with. Well, Whiterun Stables has the horse, I guess, technically, but you know what I mean. Those little symbols are the goat, deer, whatever. Which Selenia is pretty fleshed out, so I'd probably start with that one and then do the rest. But yeah, kind of liking it. It's progress, you know. Cool. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this because that was a reference after looking at it for a hot minute. But yeah, I think that's solid. Yeah, I think that's a stopping point for today. So now that's taken care of. I'm thinking we could do some music. How does that sound? Music sound good with people? People interested? We want vibes, bops, and whatever else. Alright. I'm going to change the setup real quick just to shift things around so that way I can actually get my laptop and stuff set up. But I'll be right back in about I don't know, probably 10 or so. I might take a quick restroom break too. So, alright guys, so stick around. I'll be back. And we're back. Oh dear, I didn't realize my text box was that small. I need to fix that. I was wanting to test it to make sure how it was, and I was just like, oh, that's really tight right there. I need to give that a little spread there. Why is it so small across there, but there it's like huge? That's weird. Might need to change my little window too by looking at it. Yeah, I just need to make it. Well, not because I don't want it being that small. Jeez Louise. I mean, it's not like it's the worst, but getting that small, like, that's a little ridiculous. Big enough to at least be visible, you know? I could probably change in some settings or something, I'm sure, but it was just like, what? Why is it so small? Yeah, and up through there will be fine. Speaking of, need to scoot you guys over just a little bit. Art setup, I was a little over to the opposite side, so. Okay, I think we are good to go for music session. Well, no we're not, because it would help if I had this plugged in, wouldn't it? Would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to da-da-da-da? Yeah, that was a little sampled beat I was working on recently. I like the drums of it, but I think I need to cut them up or take out, because there's a little click that's in there a lot, and that's kind of what kills me about that one. Which, I mean, I can just find samples, make a new kit or something, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's going to take some time. Let's create a new channel and then go for it from there, I think. And we'll do that instead for a beat or something. But yeah, I started playing with samples the other night, and I was pretty alright with what it came out with. It was nice. What's in our starter kit? I think I might need more of a thump in there. Kind of along with that one. Turn it down a smidge. are? We will find out. Or maybe it was just that section. I don't know, it sounded longer than it was, I guess. Kind of goes a little too long with it. I've gotten so used to using the pattern deal on here that's kind of thrown me off from regular beating it in like I normally would do on the beat pad. Which isn't exactly a good thing, but it is what it is, you know. If you find new workflows, it goes faster and works for you, by all means go for it. Yeah, like that's right snare. Double checking stream stuff. Making sure. gonna say, I was missing some few sets there. You need to change the settings where it's not doing that every time. Trying to figure out where to put that because I like it, but I'm not sure where it goes in the rhythm. I think it might actually be in that second part. I think it might just need to go in the middle. Because that end where the strings end up transitioning doesn't sound exactly where it's supposed to be. Sounds perfect for a saxophone. I'm willing to try it. It might be for a saxophone. Let's pull up something and we'll see how that do. I'm not 100% sold, but I'm willing to try it. And the track. Expand probably has one. Instruments. And music technology and expand. What a beautiful synth it is. Okay, we can try saxophone. The thing is, I would probably rather find a sample, but I want to more test out before I start looking for forever to make sure it's not just me, you know. Because there's trumpets. Where's the saxophone now? Well, that ain't it. That's not it at all. I said this thing might have one. Maybe I was wrong. I mean, I got a dozen other different things that probably have it, but I just like expand sound for a lot of it. As far as most of the synth goes and everything. Because we could definitely find something at least close to it. Yeah, that would be the right place. I'm just not seeing the saxophone. Now, granted, I could do a sample, too. That's also a possibility.
let's check the others first. I don't know if they have one. They might. Cause off the top of my head. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll see what they got first. I'd rather. Yeah, we'll check the instruments on here first. Because some of the default stock ones actually aren't too bad as long as you get a bit of effects on them usually. No. I want a saxophone. Sax. I just realized I'm not even sure what key this is in. C major it should be. That sounds really wacky to be a saxophone. Unless it's like low end maybe. I'm not feeling that saxophone, my man. I'm always willing to try stuff, but I'm not feeling it for that one at all. I don't even think... It might just be I can't play one, just in case, if maybe we can find a saxophone. Let's do like 90 to 98, I guess. I might could find a sample that works, maybe. But I'm not feeling it'll do too hot, personally. I give people the benefit of a doubt, though. It's like 90, 98, C major, and we want a saxophone if you got it. And, well, it might help if I'm in an actual thing there. Sax, and we want 90, 98. I think that's an okay range to check out for. Jeez, please, that's louder than it need to be. Because it's, like, the thing is, I see kind of your idea of how it could be funky with it, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately. I get your logic for that, though. It's like, if you want funk, sax is a good way to do it. I don't know. Like, this is the funny thing about doing music production. You get to a certain point and suddenly you start losing place a little bit every once in a while, you know? Like, you get going and then you have these one or two spots that get a little iffy. And I think that's one of them. Because once I could get past, like, something in between this section here, I think I'd be solid. Because you need, like, a few elements. Extra percussion probably doesn't even matter too much anymore because it gets blocked out. Yep, indeed, my homie. Yep, indeed. It's okay though, because I have like several other different projects to work on. That's the whole point of me having it. I don't remember where this one is. Or do I remember? I might remember. We'll see if I remember. Oh yeah. This one was another one of the lo-fi ones or whatever I was working on before. But it was like in my off time. Might could do some sort of synth flute for that actually. That'd be pretty nice, I think. Expand. And we want soft leads, I think, is where some of those are. What key is this in, speaking of D major? I gotta remember what D major is. Something on down along those lines. I kind of dig that one. Should have kept going to get that melody actually, but oh well, that's fine. Put it to there. I always start early when we record these. I'm a fan of that. otherwise, I am a big fan of that. I kind of dig it. What do I need? Yeah, I need to get EQ done on these anyway, because if they're going to be the main part of it all. Has some highs that I think will be too much in like a pair of headphones or something probably. So I think if we just find those little sour spots, we can work the rest out. Just soften them a little bit. Who'll be texting me? People be texting me. Actually, that might be a job thing. That was a DJ gig, so I kind of need an answer though. Considering it's one of the ways I'm getting money right now. Yeah, it's definitely that little section. I think we can lift a little bit on that other. How's that sound? Kind of could just picture someone floating in a boat, like in the middle of Castaway or something. Kind of dig it. Hey, Corey, what's up, bud? Good to see you, my homie. That's the funny thing about streaming to three things. Like, OBS only checks Twitch, and I gotta check, like, all three other tabs every once in a while. Not necessarily a bad thing. I can see chat on the screen, but good to see you, bud. But see, like, that's basically a whole, like, the lo-fi stuff. It's literally like drums, some type of chord, something, and then like a lead, and you're done. I think that's the thing I love about the most, is that's the simplest. Because literally, like, this is good on its own, and then add that synth. And if you just change those and progressions and then add in the little filter effects and everything afterwards, it's home free. Because it's kind of like the... actually, I don't think I've... yeah, because I haven't been on in a bit. My wonderful little Twitch stream I did for or background for this Twitch stream on my channel, I actually finished it out and everything, and this was what it turned out. If anyone's feeling like reviewing or comments or anything, but I was actually pretty happy with it. But yeah, this is the same one from the last stream I did, just fully arranged and everything. I wish I could show you guys what I'm seeing with all the information and stuff, but it's kind of like difficult because Mac doesn't like PC where I'm actually streaming everything off of. Slow everything down, take the beat out, bring it back in. It's funny because they're such gentle, like, drops or whatever compared to all my other stuff I've done. At least that are, like, mostly on the albums and everything. But then you get to the verse B type situation. But the second drop is a little more full because it has the added lower tones of that same synth. So that one's more full rather than just the single synth that was there before. And then just fade it out. Yeah, lo-fi, who'd have thought, you know? Like, I think that and then hip-hop can be pretty easy depending on all the details. The difference nowadays is just everyone gets such a dynamic mix of everything. That's the only thing that makes it, like, difficult now, which is a good thing. People are actually trying different things, experimenting, but at the same time, everyone still follows in the same formula rather than creating different stuff, and it's kind of funny how that all works, but what can you do? Let's find another one to work on. Oh yeah, this one was one I picked up the other day or whatever. But it was basically just a beat with another. It was like essentially lo-fi, not lo-fi, what's the word? Synthwave. I need to change the drums on it, but I ended up, the original tempo of like a vocal I found was like 122, so I toned it down, or slowed it down to the right tempo of it. And it actually turned out pretty nice. But then I added a high and a low to kind of give it sort of similar to a vocoder effect where it makes it thicker. But it's the beat, and then add the vocal. And want your attention, I want you now. I need your attention, I want you now. Add a high vocal. Want your attention. Added a low vocal. So it kind of has the similar to the vocoder thing, like in a lot of Zeds and other ADM artist stuff. See, it's funny because I hit some of these and it's like they sound good. It's like good idea, but where's it going now? And that's the other thing. After 3 albums, I'm kind of trying to hold myself to a higher standard. Like if I'm not going crazy to it or anything after so long, I just delete it. Which, well, I saved some of it. Like there's some I save for background of videos and the stream and everything, but others are just like, there's not really anything here that I'm feeling, so is it going to sit there, take up space, get in the way, or, you know, what else do I have? Another hip-hop beat I had. Yeah, and then there's scratch vocals. Kind of melody ideas and stuff. But see, that one's ready to go pretty much once it actually gets put together. I just gotta arrange it. Like, that's the funny thing. Some of these I'm like, yeah, I could totally put vocals for it or whatever. But then I'm not in a place for writing as much or something, and it doesn't... I just end up not getting to it, or I just send it out as it is without vocals. But granted, that's the other thing. You just need to meet people that are all interested in the same thing to make something like that. It's kind of the rough part about it. Ooh, this one was a good one I've been working on for a hot minute. It basically just goes up to the first drop, but it pretty much just needs arranging. But I was pretty happy with how it turned. Nope, that's the drop. Give you a second. I haven't fixed the build-up. The build-up's still getting tweaks or whatever. But this is one I'm thinking next album because, you know, you always work on albums or whatever. But this, like, wide synth with a nice little white noise pulsating. But honestly, this drop, I think, could be one of the better ones I've made as far as everything else goes. Simple transition right here, ready? It's such a small thing, but it drags it in so well. And then everything's gonna slow down here and actually have a build up, but then when the drop comes in here, whoa. And I have a working vocal if I want to keep it. But yeah, like that sample vocal kind of works. I'm not sold on it though. And that's kind of the thing that's been keeping me there is like I can either write something, I could put together, I could try reaching out to someone who might want to do it. I think that's the other thing. It's like I'm in such a place where like music creatives don't seem to be around as much, I guess. At least not here. Whereas if I were maybe a little somewhere else, like I'll find the right people, sure, I could probably hook up with some folks and do some awesome stuff, but that's just part of it. You gotta figure it out, find them, but after that, you're pretty much home free. As long as you find someone willing to work with you. Plus, I just love making this stuff anyway. I think that one I can... Yeah, that one I was... Because that was another lo-fi idea, and it's neat, but it's not crazy great. There's actually one of these I'm debating picking back up because I wrote a lot more hip hop and rap in high school, and so it's like part of me just debating if I pick that back up, and I might, maybe. It's just like a real gnarly beat that I've been digging into. That one wasn't the one, but it was just, I'm checking on things. I have so many side projects, I'm just like, sometimes something hits, and then I gotta clean up out of this so many. That's the other problem, I'll end up forgetting what half of them are, and then it's like, shoot, I gotta figure this thing out now. It is what it is. I really do need to finish out a lot of these, because a lot of them are at a standstill, I just need to actually arrange them, and then it's all good to go. I'm trying to find the one... I think that's what it was. Oh yeah, that's what it was. But basically, this one was the one I was thinking about. Maybe getting back into my whole little hip hop kick for a bit. But that like dubsteppy just growl and then like that thing's freaking sick. But I took that and then gave it the bass it needed. But what really sets it off are the strings that get set off in the high end. But just that like growl and everything, ew. It's so nasty, but I love it. There's so many hype things on here, it's just more of like getting it put together. But otherwise, we're solid from then on in. What else we got that got finished recently? Or at least is closer to being done. Did I finish this one, or did I? Oh yeah, that was another little lo-fi one. Y'all be down to vibe to this and like chat or whatever? Just hang out and like nice chords and stuff to it. And yes, homie, I will say hi to Corey for you. That's funny. My poor good friend Alberto in Venezuela can't talk in certain chats. It makes me feel bad for him. But that's the other reason I like doing it multiple streams. Not everyone gets everything, and I guess people just don't think about it that much. What are these? Oh yeah, it's a little top end for it. Actually, you know what? I need to do lo-fi ones anyway. This one we can arrange. Yeah, we're gonna arrange it. We got time before I goof off with like some of my friends on games and stuff. Probably start off with... Yeah. I don't know... I'm actually kind of curious because I'm not 100%, but like Corpse, he has... I don't know if what he does for music production. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But his song, Agoraphobic, has a guitar that sounds eerily similar, I think. It's been a while since I looked at it, but I think it was a thing. I'm gonna play it for 2 seconds because I don't want to get copyright, but I just want to remember if it has the guitar or not. Because there's some samples I found exactly from like Justin Bieber hit songs and different things or whatever. Like What Do You Mean was a heavy sample packed song. Which, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's made to be that. It's just funny. Yeah. But basically, it's that same type of feeling, just a different set of chords or whatever. Super close. I thought about that as soon as I put it in there, too. I was like, this sounds familiar from somewhere. And then I remembered, oh, yeah, chords. I hope that doesn't get me flagged or nothing. Don't think it should. Love you, YouTube. Don't end me. You're the only place I have a lot of followers. Yeah, so we'll run that out for another set of bars. And then need a build up here, so probably take out this, or take the beat back out, because, yeah, and then just swap places, basically. That's another thing, really build-ups are almost just kind of like, or transitions, excuse me. Transitions are usually just end up being one piece of the music taken out and swapping it and putting the other one in its place, pretty much. Like, I guess as a formula way of saying it. Because you have the startup of this one, and then you add in the drums. Next transition adds in the synth. But this next transition is just leaving the main guitar riff and then just dropping the drums off of it. 7 days. Well, yeah, because your internet's different too. But again, that's why I like doing multiple platforms too. It's the most amount of people to see stuff. But yeah, see that transition where it's literally just swapping it, but still has a different feel to it. And then you have a drop there, and then add your little that little bell addition, as I put it there. So what all do we have on this kit again? Kind of like that little snap, actually. Yeah, but it doesn't sound good. Kind of trying to find a little in between to maybe use. I get zoned out when I'm thinking. I forget people are here. I'm thinking maybe, like, cause that subbed kick kind of sounds like a heartbeat, and I was like, I wonder if I can play into that. And then just have that into the rest of it, or something. That's not a bad idea. Let me... maybe do it in a third bar? Where'd it go? second one on the triplet needs to be put more in time. See, it's a super soft, subtle thing, but helps a lot. Let's get that one a little more in time too, I think. Yeah, and then we can have a riser to go in with it. That's just a gentle one. And then that can be kind of the whole first chorus thing. One shots don't need a BPM. Just put it in there. Effects. Riser, please. Because I have quite a few. What is the BPM 96? I don't even remember if I have 196 actually. I mean, they're one shots, so it's not going to matter too much. But some of them do. Risers, take out effects, just in case. Actually, likes or downloads would probably be my best place to look for those. I don't know what that is. Kind of sounds like pinball on the old dial-up computer. I mean, that sounds fun for later, but not what I needed. Risers. I need my suspense. Dadgummit. Risers, thank you. That one sounds fun. Yeah, I think that takes too long. The thing is, you build it up for so long and it gives it a bigger suspense, and it's not an EDM song, it's more like the lo-fi, so you don't need something super extra. Now, if that one didn't have the flanger on it, I'd probably be a little more using it. This is the real life of music producer, guys. Scrolling through samples and sounds just to make sure everything's perfect. So exciting sometimes, I know. This is why I like having people enter and chat and everything, because it's a lot easier to talk to, just be like, hey, what's up, and blah, blah, blah. And people got questions. Granted, it'd be easier if I could show logic on my thing too, but darn PC and Matt can't get along for anything, so what are you gonna do? That was too much. I swear I have a softer one in here. Where are you at? I mean, I guess I could still go with one of these others I had, but I swear I had another that wasn't near. I guess we'll just grab this one. I mean, if anything, I can really go in to change it. Arranging is fine, and you can just do the tweaks afterwards anyway, so. Since we're hitting this, let's make sure. And then we'll get a light impact to go with it too. Uh-oh, I goofed. Go back. Did not mean to have tone shifts and everything. That is not what I want at all. And we'll copy our beat here, put it back into the chorus. So that'll work. And then we'll just do it to 2 times around. I need a light crash as well. Impacts, yeah. Gentle impact. Just needs a little bit of a thump. I don't need that much delay on it, is the thing. Granted, the kick does go on the 1, so that probably might save a little bit of the low end from it too. I don't know, let's see how that does. It's not right there, it needs to be a little earlier. See, like, it's so high, I don't think the impact sounds just right, you know? Part of the fun of sound design. And these are all from old game projects. That one might work, since it's a bit more of a crash too, maybe? It sounds like it's still got some low end on it too. I think we can cut out some of the high end on that one and save some trouble for that. Let's turn on the analyzer so I can actually see what's happening here. Might need it a bit sharper, but I think the clip that's going on in there is actually a little too close to everything else, unfortunately. Maybe I don't need... I don't know. Maybe I don't need that riser specific. Might get toned down on this one. Because that one's like all high end, so we definitely don't need to use that one. I don't know. I think that's not bad though. Like I said, if anything it's temporary, arranging can just get finished up too, so give it another listen through. So that transition's gonna need to change, that impact, and I think it might just be the riser for it. But I do think the arrangement's good. Too much. Some of them take so long to start because they start so quiet. Is that the one I just had or not? Huh, it's not. Sounded similar. But maybe that's what I need. Actually, I could transpose this a little bit. Or pitch it up. Let's try that, see what that does. Because that might actually save us some trouble. Well, let's put it up like... Yeah, we'll try 12 first, just to see what that does. That sounds spooky. Okay, not transpose. Well, maybe we could format shift it? I've never tried that before on a riser, but I'm curious. So we're gonna do it anyway, and then if it sounds terrible, it sounds terrible, and I'll know for later. Let's just try 3. It sounds different. Because it's kind of like, it gets very, what's the word? Crunchy and like 8-bit sort of sounding, yeah. Yeah, let's just pitch the pitch of it. Now let's see about trying to find another crash, maybe. There's an idea in that, and I might use that in a second. And more sound effects. Because I have way too many from doing game design. I feel like that one has too much going on. That's the thing. Maybe that one will sound a little better now that we pitched it up, actually. Still kind of harsh. up some, maybe? Why does this one gotta be weird? Yeah, I probably will just have to change it. But hey, it still sounds good. Like, that's the good thing. Arranging wise, I think it makes sense. It should be pretty easy from there on out, so I think it'll be fine. You guys have any last requests or anything? Any questions before we start shutting down the stream? How long have we been on here? 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours. Hot stuff. Anybody got any comments, concerns, anything on chat? Alright. Well, if that is the case, I had a blast. Glad to have you here. Thankful to have you here, who all showed up. But the video's going to stay here. But yeah, for sure, if you guys might be a bit more interested in the art stream, like how it started, as far as the project and MANORIA and the world building and all that, let me know. I'd be happy to talk about it. Otherwise, I mean, I think that's everything you need. But I'm going to play some games a little bit. If you guys want more gameplay stuff, I haven't done it in a long while, but it still could be fun. Plus, I've been thinking about doing it again anyway. It's just, that's the thing. Everyone does game streams all the time anyway, so you kind of hit a point where you kind of need a niche to really do it and get somewhere. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, you guys. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I will see all of you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Stay positive, stay creative.